Why do I invest in property, or should I say, why do we invest in property? For any new property investors or budding property investors or people just, looking at getting involved in property, there's so many reasons, why people do invest in property. But again, it's always got to be down to yourself, to your situation, to your goals in life, really. So for me, I know that, the money's safe in bricks and mortar, definitely. I know that over time, that the property will always be worth far more over a time period. So for instance, now our first properties we purchased were early 2008, just before the '09 crash, '08, '09 crash. We're in negative equity for what felt like forever. I do wish at the time, sorry, let's say that again. At the time, I was thinking I need to sell these, but I couldn't afford to. However, we kept hold of those three properties. And now one of the properties, again, going back, you may have heard me say this before, we didn't do any negotiation. We paid the full asking price, didn't do any due diligence, wasn't really educated on property other than let's get property and the rents will come in and all that type of stuff. So they were doing lots of things wrong. But one of the properties we paid 60,000 for, which we'd overpaid. It was then worth probably about 40 a year later. However, that property now has just been valued at £120,000, so it's doubled. Another property that we paid 110 for, an end townhouse, 3-bedroom end townhouse, that probably went down to about 75. That's now been revalued probably about 6 months ago at 220. So that's increased by £100,000. And the other property, I think that was 110 we paid for, not 100 we paid for that one. That was a 3-bed end terraced. So yeah, we paid 110 for that. We haven't had that revalued or anything, but I know that street very well and I know what properties go up for. That would probably fetch about 150, maybe 160, something along those, obviously conservative values. So for us, really, when people say, why do we invest in property? The capital growth is, good. You need to make sure you're getting in at the right time. If not, just keep hold of them forever, which is our strategy. The passive income that we get each month, that's what I do like. So from building up a noisy business, a noisy karate school, I don't mean physical noise, I mean, the day-to-day running of it and building of systems and building managers, building head instructors and so on. That was always the noisy element, which brought in earned income, but the property was always the passive income, which was always nice. So yeah, you've got the capital growth, you've got the passive income in the rents. And again, it depends on your strategy, really. Are you looking at doing HMOs? Are you looking at doing serviced accommodation? Are you looking at doing flips? It's all dependent on your strategy. It's about you building your ideal life. For us, really, our property portfolio is doing well, touch wood. We're just going to continue to build on it because I know that in 10, 20, 30 years' time, it will be worth a lot more than it is now at the moment. I remember speaking to a fellow investor. Their property portfolio was worth over £1 million. This was probably about maybe just before COVID. And then as soon as COVID hit, it'd probably gone about 40, 50%. So they've made like £500,000 there, really, for just stewardship of those properties. So going back to the main point of the video, why do we invest in property? For one, for us, capital growth. 2, passive income. 3, the return on our capital employed, leverage. Again, if you're new to the property industry, if you're doing your research now, you'll hear a lot about, gross yields, net yields, annual yields and all that type of stuff. The metric that we like to track is ROCE, return on capital employed. So one of our latest deals that we did probably about 3 or 4 months ago now, there's about £14,000 left of our money in that deal. It's cash flowing just short of £400 per calendar month. And we've worked it out, it's going to be, the return on capital employed there is just short of 21%. Now, of course, there's better deals out there, but there's no way that if we'd left that money in the bank, that it would be providing us each and every month with that passive income and it will be earning 20% interest. It just doesn't happen. So I hope this video has helped some people. I didn't want it to be a big highbrow thing, but yeah, property for us, capital growth, we know in the long run that it's going to be going up in value. The passive income, and you never know, one day, here in England, we keep getting taxed and taxed and taxed. There might be a point where we just think, forget this, let's sell them. That's a nice position to be in, having the ability to sell them. Yeah, we might suffer capital gain tax or, who knows, but at least we've got that option to sell them. And another thing here in England or UK, it's a small island. People will always need somewhere to live. You know, we can't keep up with the demand, or, you know, the government can't keep up with the demand to build new houses and home people. So yeah, for us, you know, we know that there's always going to be demand for it. Some people always say, isn't it a bit risky? You know, going for a walk is a bit risky. Crossing the street is a bit risky. It's up to you. So if you're interested in building your ideal life, just learn as much as you can. Find somebody who you resonate with, who's achieved what you want to achieve. And just, I can't emphasize the importance of just keep taking daily steps forward. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Sometimes it'll feel like you're not getting anywhere. I know that feeling, but the compound effect, again, hopefully you've come across that. Just like the compound effect happens in your property or on your properties, it should be happening in your daily life as well. You should be taking steps further forward. Remember, everybody, keep looking after this mindset, keep building on your business, and keep increasing your wealth. Good luck in building your ideal life. Good luck. Take care.